They keep going back and forth. Then he finally decides to literally, I mean literally, pull down his pants and hi Dawnies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel and you like listening to funny, sad, ridiculous stories, please subscribe. Mom would say it's like a bad sitcom. As you may know, I am currently homeless and my time was up at Mercy. So therefore, I had to look for another shelter, and there's like I had a list of about 30 shelters to go and sign up and see if they had any beds available. Anyway, one of these days I ended up in Marietta at Must Ministries. Now, while I'm waiting outside, oh, it was cold. It was like under 30 degrees. Yes, that's cold for this California girl. Anyway, so I'm standing outside in Must Ministries waiting to sign up. I think this is like my third time trying to sign up. And there was this dude standing in line with me. So I started asking him questions about the shelter. Because previously, when I tried to sign up before, there was this other gentleman telling me, he stays outside, but the shelter allows him to come in at least twice a week to take a shower and also 3 times a week to wash his clothes. I'm not sure where he said he lived under a bridge, but he looked clean, like he didn't look homeless or, quote unquote homeless. Anyway. So with that said, I was thinking this guy standing in line with me could give me some insight on how this particular shelter handles things. Well, he tells me he lives in a tent, and I'm not sure why he was standing in line. I think he was looking for some coffee or something. Maybe he was trying to get a shower or wash his clothes. I'm not sure why he was in line. Now, if I'm talking soft, I'm sorry. I'm going to ask you to turn up your headphones because I'm currently in an area where I got to kind of be quiet. So, like I said, the guy tells me he lives in a tent, and then he started trying to talk me up. Oh, why? Why? So he's trying to bring up conversation with me, chit chat, trying to talk me up, trying to hit on me, what have you. And later on in the conversation, because he gave me a card for church, and then he started talking like how the Hebrew Israelites talk about not the gay people and so forth. And so this guy is like, well, mind you, this guy is black. So this guy is like, yeah, in Augusta, they run gay men out of there. They don't play that or whatever. But the way he sounded, it sounded like he was a straight guy. But I'll get into later how I found out maybe he didn't play on my team. Nothing, come for me. I'm just saying, I like men. Anyway. So with that said, he's still talking to me, and he's talking like a little kid in some aspects because he's like, "Do you like my skinny jeans?" And I'm like, "No. One thing I can't stand is skinny jeans." Now, baggy jeans was another issue, but I just remember a while back they were saying, to wear loose clothes. So, well, I'm just gonna say we're grown here, right? That your sperm count can go up. So these people who want to have babies, don't they know wearing tight jeans is not going to help your sperm count? I'm just saying. Anyway, so he brings that up, and I'm like, why is he asking me about these jeans? And then, now mind you, I did say it's below 30. I don't remember what the temperature was, but I know it was cold, and I'm standing outside waiting for the intake people to come in and open this door. It's like 8 o'clock at this time, and they don't show up until 9. Anyhow, so like I said, it's cold outside. Next thing I know, this dude slips out of his loafer style shoes and his toes are painted. Now, mind you, I'm mad that his feet are prettier than mine. How dare you say you live in a tent and you have pretty feet that are better than mine? I don't appreciate that. Anyway, so in my mind, I'm still thinking he's straight or whatever. And I was like, so why are your toes painted? This fool says, oh, it keeps me warm. Your toes painted keeps you warm. I don't know how that works. So I think maybe 15 minutes goes by and he's still talking to me. And he tells me if I'm not able to get into the shelter this time, I can stay with him in his tent. I'm so glad that I was able to get into the shelter. Anyway, I had already got the buy-in to get into the shelter because the main guy that does the intake sent me emails. Excuse me. Sent me an email saying I can come in and sign up, and that there is a bed available. I'm sorry, I didn't get in that day, but I did get in a few days later. My brain, charge it to my brain. I'm sorry. That you can say if I'm homeless, I'm stressed. I'm just letting you know. Anyway, and I'm looking at my notes, so bear with me. So I come back to the shelter a few days later, and I'm in the waiting room waiting for the intake process. Meanwhile, here's this this same dude again trying to talk me up while we're in the waiting room, and he's like, saying just ridiculous things to me, thinking that's going to get my attention. And also, when one of the staff walks by, he motions as if he's going to squeeze her butt, and I'm like, that is disgusting. That is just rude and disgusting. Then later on, somehow he's still talking to me or whatever. Oh, he had some watch and he put the watch on my wrist thinking that was going to be like, oh, thank you for this watch. And then I give him the watch back and he's like, you think I can get any money for it? And I'm like, go ahead, try, whatever. Then later on, he's, what does he do? Oh, then he starts singing how he's a good man, and I'm a good woman, and that we should be together. And I'm like, you don't know anything about me. And a young lady that was sitting next to me started chuckling. And I was like, well, I mean, the truth is what it is. Now, I guess he was in his feelings because he started looking sad and giving puppy dog eyes like that's really supposed to do something for me. As Mellow G would say, that would be negatory. So after that moment had passed, and I guess he built up some strength to try to talk to me again, he starts writing on his hands. Now, while I'm talking, I want you to write in the comment section what you think he wrote on his hand based on the information I just gave you previously about, the toenails and gay guys getting ran out and he's still trying to talk to me and I can live in a tent with him and just nonsense like that. Honestly, I think what he wrote on his hand, he thought that was going to impress me. And I'm like, ugh. So what he writes on his hand is MILF. Now, I understand when I was telling the story to other people, they didn't know what a MILF was. So I'm just going to put it right here. So now that's supposed to really make me run away with you to your tent? I don't think so. It's below 30 outside. Actually, I think it was almost below 20. I think at that day, I think it was like 18 degrees. No, if I have a bed and a real roof over my head, no, I'm not staying with you in your tent. I guess our body heat's supposed to keep each other warm. Disgusting. Oh, but it gets better. So a few days later, the young lady that was sitting next to me in the waiting room that chuckled, We all by this time are in the dorms and we all have beds or whatever. But it was like 12 beds to a room. Well, 12 beds, 6 beds to 6 bunk beds to a room, and I guess 12 women. However, so anyway, she comes in the dorm and she's like, "Girl, your friend just got into it with the other lady that lives in the bunk bed further down." And I'm like, "My friend? I don't think that's my friend." So the story goes that he and another lady were getting into it at the convenience store. They were arguing with each other. I don't know what they were arguing about. According to her, she said that she gave him some sound advice and he didn't like it. So he called her a shelter bee. And then she said, "F you, you live in a tent. So you're both homeless." And so they keep going back and forth. Then he finally decides to literally, I mean literally, pull down his pants and tell her to kiss his behind. And she was like, "Well, this time I was in my right mind because I would have done the same thing." And I'm like, "No, because if you had done that, he probably would try to do something to you. And that is disgusting." Oh, my. This new life I'm living is going to be very interesting. But I'm in a safer place now. I'm back in Atlanta. I'm not in Marietta. But still, it's still eventful. But that's why I always say, Dawnies, remember to toast to life because it always makes for a great story. And evidently, I'm going to have a lot to tell during this kind of situation. Hopefully, I won't be in this situation too long. But anyway, remember to toast to life. It always makes for a great story. Don't forget to check out my other content on the channel. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.